Hello everyone. In this video lecture we are going to start with neural network learning rules. So neural network learning rules, there are different kinds of learning rules, how you update the weights and how your artificial neural network does the predictions. Okay, so there are in your syllabus for soft computing there are around 4 network learning rules that we are going to study. For if you have taken an elective of artificial neural networks, then you have more than that. More 4 learning rules. Okay, so right now we'll stick to the syllabus that we have at our hand, that is soft computing, and we'll study 4 different neural network learning rules. Okay, so we'll start with that. Okay, so a neuron is considered to be adaptive element and its weights are modifiable based on 3 things. Okay, what is that? First is your input signal. Okay. Second is your output value. And what's the third thing? Third thing is associated teacher's response. Okay. The teacher's response. Now what is this? I'll speak about that. Okay. Now what did I say earlier? A neuron is considered to be adaptive element, right? And weights are modified based on 3 things. Based on an input signal, the weights will be modified, and the output value that you get also. So if you have a feedback, the output value will be considered to modify the weights, right? So these are 2 things which you are aware of. The third thing is teacher's response. What is teacher's response? Teacher's response is nothing but in case of supervised learning, right? So basically there is a monitor or the teacher which checks, which corrects you whenever you do make a mistake, whenever you make an error, right? There's a person who helps you with that. So that is the teacher's response. In teacher's response can be the desired response or the correct response that is already present. So in this case what happens is, this tells you that this kind of a learning technique is basically nothing but supervised learning technique, right? So in case of supervised learning technique, you use another person where you have the correct measure that has been taken. You know what is the correct answer. You know what is the desired answer that you have. So that becomes your supervised learning. So I'll just roughly draw a diagram, a general diagram of neural network and tell you how this learning happens. Okay, and then we'll go and look into different neural network learning methods. Okay, now let's assume this is the ith neuron. Okay, there will be different neurons in the whole network, right? Now this is the ith neuron that I have, and output of this neuron is given by OI. I'm just going to write OI because it's output of ith neuron. Fine. And there will be many inputs. Let's say there are n inputs. So x1, x2, x3 goes up till xn. Okay. So there are these many inputs over here to this neuron. N inputs. So this whole thing is your x, that is your input vector. This will become as your input vector, right? This will become your input vector to the neuron. Now, going ahead, let's see what happens, how weights gets modified, right? Now there's a factor over here which gives you the updated weights. Now delta Wi stands for change in weights. Delta is anything but change. What was the current one and what was the new one? So the difference is basically the change. That's the delta, right? Now R here stands for a learning signal. Okay, learning signal. Now this learning signal is a combination of few things. What is that? Okay, we'll see what is that. And this is X, of course, right? And then you have DI. See, in cases of unsupervised learning, you won't have DI. Okay, in case of unsupervised learning, you won't have DI. You only have this. R. Right? Now I'll just mention to you what are these things. Okay. Now your WI, the weights of ith neuron will be, what is that WI? WI1, WI2 and so on till WIN. Okay. Why is that? Because there are n inputs and all these inputs will have vectors, right? It will have, say, W1, W2, right? This will go on till WIN. Okay, I is for the ith neuron. Okay, so the training, when the ith vector undergoes this, ith neuron will go undergo training, a weight vector will get updated, okay, which is connected to, so how do you write this? Okay, this, let's say this variable is, we'll take another variable for this j. So we'll consider this as Wij. Okay, what is Wij? I stands for the neuron, which neuron it is, ith neuron, and J is the input, which input it is. Okay, so Wij. Okay, so the weight vector over here, Wi is directly proportional to, what you can see over here is directly proportional to what? I'll change the color so you can maybe make it. So what is this? What is depends on? It depends on three things, that is your X, that is your input signal. It depends on learning signal R. R is anyways coming from O, by the way. It's coming from here, right? Your learning signal. So it basically depends on output and if the desired input is there. Okay? The learning signal is a function of what? Output is what? Net, right? Net. F of net. Right? So, and sometimes teacher signal comes over here. And C is just a learning constant. C is nothing but a learning constant, which controls the learning rate, basically. Okay? Which controls the rate of learning. Let's write like that. It controls the rate of learning. So basically, it will be between 0 to 1. You have the rate at which, weights get updated. Right? That is controlled by C. So basically, you can write it as, I'll just write it with red pen itself, so it clearly demarcates things. R is nothing but, R is basically a function of three things. That is your weights, previous weights, Wi, right? Your X, that is input vector, and the desired signal, right? So R depends on all these three things. Now what does Wi depend on? Wi, the weight change, Wi at that particular instant, at t. So this will be C. We have C now because it's multiplication. So look at W, this symbol over here is nothing but it's multiplication, right? So it's a multiplication of three things, X, C and your R, right? So C, R, X. So I've written C, I'm going to write R. R is also a function of what? Three things. So Wi, X. Okay, one second, I'll just clear this because you have taken T, right? So we'll write with respect to T. So Wi of t, X of t, right, and Di of t. So these are the three things. Okay, and apart from there's another again X over here multiplied. So we'll have X of t again over here at the outside. So this is how your weights get updated. Okay, so now I've written in terms of change, right? I've written in terms of change. So when I write this again, or we just write it on Wi. Now if I write it like this, Wi t plus 1. So the next instant, how does it get updated? Is Wi of t, okay, plus Cr. And again you have Wi of t here inside, X of t, and you have Di of t, right? Then you have X of t here. Got it? This is how it looks like. For discrete time case, you can write it like this. Discrete time scenario, you will write it like this, right? Obviously, you get kth instant and k plus 1 instant. Then Cr and Wi of k, xk, Di of k, and X of k. Right? Now the continuous time, now this was for discrete case, you can write it like this. For continuous case, you can write it What is delta by that? Just a difference, right? So we can write it as d by dt of wi of t, right? For continuous case. Okay, the difference will become discrete. In continuous case, it becomes a differentiation, right? If you are aware, if you have studied properly your mathematics and communication part, this must be pretty much simple for to understand. Okay, so basically it is CR x of t. Okay, so now this was the theory behind all the updation of weights and the learning that happens. Okay, now we'll go and look at different learning rules. We'll start off with the most simplest, most commonly used learning rule, that is Hebbian learning rule. Okay, so I'm going to clear all of this and go back. Okay. So I'll start with Hebbian learning rule now here. Okay. Now here the learning signal in Hebbian learning rule is a common thing. The most important thing is the learning signal. Okay. The learning signal, that is your R, equals to neurons output. Okay, direct it is equal to neurons output. There's nothing else. So what does that mean? R is nothing but a function of WTX. This is a transpose, right? When you do a matrix, you're doing matrix multiplication, weight vector and input vector. Okay, you will have to take a transpose of one of them to get the answer. So this is how it is. R is nothing but f of WIT of x. Okay, that's your Hebbian learning rule. So what is W? Now let's say what is WI? Weight change. How does the weight change happen? Okay. What is weight change? We had given CRX. Right? What is weight change? CR and X of T or something. Right? So it becomes CR. R is what? R is a function of WI T of X. And here you'll have the input vector X, the last. So this is your, this becomes your R, right? Fine. So this is how your Hebbian learning rule is. So I'll just go ahead and change few things. Now here we're talking about ith neuron and jth input. So Wij will be equal to C F Wi T of X, and here X will be the jth input of X vector. So we have this. Okay. So this is nothing but can also be written as delta Wij, can also be written as COI XJ. Now what is O? O is the output of ith neuron. Output of ith neuron. Right? So this is what it is. And XJ is the jth input. Fine. The learning rule over here requires, what is required? It requires weight initialization of small random values. Okay. So here it requires a weight to be initialized. Wi should be approximately equal to 0, like smaller values, so that it can go ahead. Okay. So it represents feed forward and unsupervised learning. Why it does? Because it represents that. Okay. Because first of all, it doesn't have D value, right? It doesn't have D value. And the rule also states that corresponding output and input or the correlation term is positive, the weight will get increased or else it will get decreased. So what is happening over here, if you look at the diagram, if you look at the previous one, you remember, okay, what is that? We are just having, we don't have DI, right? So R is the output directly. So output is getting multiplied by C and X, right? So the multiplication will tell you, if the whole thing gets positive, the weight will increase, and if it gets negative, the multiplication is negative, then the weight is decreasing, right? That obviously, because this is WT plus 1 minus WT, right? So if this is positive, it will increase. This whole thing is positive, it will increase. If it is negative, it will decrease, right? We'll see all this with example. We'll take an example right now, and we'll solve it for using Hebbian learning rule. And let's see what we get. Okay. So I'm just going to keep this over here like this and just go ahead and solve a problem. So this is an example. W1, the first weight, initial weights, W1 is 1 minus 1, 0, 0.5. Okay. Input vector x1 is 1 minus 2, 1.5 and 0. x2 will be, what is x2? x2 is 1 minus 0.5 minus 2 minus 1.5. Sorry, minus 1.5. And then there is x3. x3 is 0, 1, minus 1 and 1.5. So this is the data that is given to you. And what else is given? Yes, C equals 1. The learning constant is 1 over here. Yes, and also the neuron, activation function of neuron. We have not talked about it. Every neuron will have activation function, right? So we have already covered activation function in previous video lectures. So here the f net equals signum of net. So this is a signum function. Here the activation function of the neuron is signum function. So what does signum function do? If you remember, anything that is above 0 will be 1, or anything that is negative side, that is below 0, will be minus 1. So that is how your signum function works. Okay, so I'll start with that. Now step 1. Okay, look at this carefully. You have to write it properly. Step 1 is calculating net 1. What is net? Net is nothing but W1T, that is transpose of that, into x1. Right? So what is weight transpose here? We've got 1, minus 1, 0 and 0.5. And what is x1? 1 minus 2, 1.5 and 0. Right? So if you do this, you will get a single value. What is that value that you get? 1 into 1 plus 1 into minus 2 plus 0, and this will be 0 again. So it will be 1 plus 2, that is 3. So 3 is a positive value, right? So what will be f of net? F of net will be 1 because it is above 0, right? Above 0 is equal to 1. So now f net is 1. Okay? So now we have to update the weights. Update the weights. W2 will be what? W1 plus what is it? CRX, right? C is what? C is 1, right? And R, the learning rate, R is what is over here? R is f of net. R is f of net in Hebbian learning. So what is f of net over here? Signum. So I'm just going to write signum of net here, net 1, right? Then what I get? I get x1, the input vector that I had. So this becomes basically nothing but W1 plus x1. Is that correct? One second, I'll not do this, otherwise you will get confused like one. Okay, W1 is here, W1. The next we're writing is a subscript. So just add these, that will be the weight updations. What is W1 and x1? Let's see, what is W1? Yeah, 1, minus 1, 0, 0.5. Okay, and x1 is 1 minus 2, 1.50, right? 1 minus 2, 1.5 and 0. So what is the weight that we get, updated weight over here? Yes, I'm just going to keep this much. So the previous data we don't require. So what are the updated weights that we get? 2, minus 3, 1.5 and 0.5, right? This is your updated weight. Now we'll go to step 2. How many steps we are going to do? Because we have given 3 input vectors. So we're going to do 3 times. Okay? So step 2, net of 2 equals, what is net of equals to? W2T x2. We're taking the second input vector now. Right? So now let's write the weight. The weight is this one. W2 is this guy. So what is that weight? 2 minus 3, 1.5 and 0.5. This will get multiplied to second input vector. The second input vector was what? 1 minus 0.5 minus 2 minus 1.5. These are the things that we have. So after multiplication, this will give me minus 0.25. Okay, just do the calculations and just check whether I'm correct. Okay, so this is negative. So F net will be minus 1. So we look at it, it either adds W1 to X1 or it subtracts, because here the signum function, we're using F net signum function, right? So it makes life a little bit easier. So now let's update the weights. W3 will be W2 plus C is 1, signum is minus 1. So this is nothing but, I'm just directly going to do it right over here, minus X2. So what do you get? What's the weight? 2 minus 3, 1.5, 0.5. Right? Minus of 1 minus 0.5 minus 2 minus 1.5. Okay? After we do this, what we get is 1 minus 2.5, then 3.5, then 2. Is that clear? This is what we get. We do step 2. Now going ahead to step 3. Okay? Now this is your W3 that we got. Right? Now we are going to use W4. So let's go to step 3. Okay, in step 3 what do we have? Net 3 equals W3Tx3. Right? So what is the updated weights that we got? 1 minus 2.5, 3.5 and 2 multiplied by x3. What is x3? 0, 1, minus 1 and 1.5. So this will give me some value. After multiplying, it will give you a value of minus 3. So this is negative. So F net will become minus 1 again. Right? So we will update the weights now. The final weights, W4 will be W3. Now it's negative, right? So it will what? W3 minus X3. Is that clear? And once I do this, I get the answer to be this, basically this minus this. So what is the answer? Answer is 1 minus 3.5, 4.5 and 0.5. So this is the final step. So the weights have got updated. Okay. So this was the problem. This was an example on how we update weights in Hebbian learning rule. Okay. So I guess I'll stop in this video and then explain the other rules in the next video. Yeah, that will be better. Okay, thank you guys.